Hi, welcome back, my dear student. In this lecture here, we're going to be creating a method that's going to be setting some properties, all right? It's going to be setting some values. So let's first create the method here, and then I will go ahead and explain it as we go along, all right? So we got this function right here, so we're gonna do it right after this, all right? So I want to make this a private method, all right? And let's call it check the login. All right, and I'll tell you in a minute what this is going to do. So what I want this method to do, what we want this method to do, right? And I hope you're actually writing this with me, all right? Because this way you are going to be learning a lot more. So make sure that you are typing in everything that I'm typing in for those of you that want to learn the most. But anyway, so what I want to do with this method here, what we want to do is we want to check if the session user ID is set. All right. So remember that we already started a session right here. So we can go ahead and do this. If it's set, we can use this function right here, and we can check for the session, and we can say user ID. All right. So if this is set, then I want to actually apply this value to our user ID. All right, so let's apply this to our object. So we assign that value to our object right there. All right, so if this is set, right, when the user comes in and we find out that they do exist, right, the session is there, then we go ahead and apply that session value to our property right here, user ID, and that's why I wanted to use that here. All right, at the same time we also want to make sure that we set the sign in right here that we have up here to true. All right, because later on we're going to be using this to find out if the user is logged in, yes or no. So if it's not, we're going to set it into null or false. And this one, if they are, we're gonna set it to true, and this is how we're gonna be controlling the flow on when they are logged in or not. All right. Else, what we can do here is we can use another function here that is going to unset. All right, this property here. So we can unset this. All right, and we can also set this sign in to false, like I said before. All right. So I hope you see what we are doing here. All right. Later on, if you're not understanding, later on it's gonna all fit into place. And I'm also going to recap. I'm going to go back and show you exactly every step how this works. All right. But just know here that we are just checking a session here. If we find it, all right, this session equals to this, right? If the session user ID, then we are going to apply whatever is in that session to our object property or attribute, and then we are marking this attribute here to true. All right, and if we don't find it, then we are going to unset the user ID. All right, because then we are not using it, right? So we are gonna unset that with this function, built-in function in PHP, and then we are going to be setting this to false. All right, so in the next lecture we're going to keep going on this. I want to make these lectures short, that way you guys can enjoy the rest of your day if you want to do something else. All right, so anyway, thank you so much for watching this, and I see you in the next lecture. Good job.